Hello. Welcome back to Catholic Trivia. So in yesterday's, or whenever you watched the last video, I talked about a tabernacle and I said I would talk about it in a future video. So here we go. What is a tabernacle? Well, the tabernacle is a sacred container or a small shrine in a Catholic church where the Blessed Sacrament, which is the consecrated hosts that are truly the body of Christ, are reserved after Mass. It is one of the holiest places in a church because Catholics believe that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. The word tabernacle comes from the Latin tabernaculum, meaning tent or dwelling place. So literally, the tabernacle means a little tent. This recalls the sacred tent-like tabernacle used by the Israelites during their journey through the desert in the Exodus, where God's presence dwelt among his people. This is before the temple was built. What's the purpose of the tabernacle? Well, it has two main purposes. The first is to reserve the Eucharist for Holy Communion of the sick and those unable to attend Mass. The second is to provide a place for prayer and adoration, since Catholics believe that Christ is truly present in the Eucharist. Because of this real presence, Catholics genuflect toward the tabernacle when entering or leaving the church. And I will be talking about the difference between genuflection and kneeling in another video. How can you recognize a tabernacle? Well, let me put up a picture. I've got several of them to show you. Here's one example right here of what a tabernacle could look like. All right, just like that. And I want to find another one for you. Share. Let's look here at this one. And you can see she is genuflecting before the tabernacle. So the tabernacle is there on the right. And then I'll show you one more, and then I'll leave that one up while I continue talking about it. Let's see this one. There we go. So now you've got a nice picture there of the tabernacle. And I'll also be talking about this sanctuary lamp in a few minutes as well. So how can you recognize a tabernacle? Well, a tabernacle is usually made of precious, solid, and secure material such as gold, silver, brass, or wood. It's located in the sanctuary, that's the holy place, or in a special chapel for prayer for Eucharistic adoration. It may be covered by a veil in some churches, and it's kept locked to protect the Blessed Sacrament. The tabernacle is accompanied by a sanctuary lamp. That's what you see right here, which is a candle or a lamp that continuously burns nearby to indicate that Jesus is present in the Blessed Sacrament. It reminds the faithful that Jesus is truly there. The tabernacle in many churches is shaped like a small temple or chapel to symbolize that Christ dwells among his people. In earlier centuries, some tabernacles were suspended above the altar in the form of a dove or hung from the ceiling. The practice of reserving the Eucharist dates back to the early church, especially for bringing communion to the sick and to Christians imprisoned for their faith. Catholics often make a visit to the tabernacle for a few moments of prayer, just as one might visit a dear friend. Now, what's inside the tabernacle is a ciborium. Just check out the previous video that I did, which is a covered vessel containing consecrated hosts. These hosts are reserved for Holy Communion of the sick and homebound, for communion outside of Mass, and for Eucharistic adoration and prayer. Catholics often spend time in prayer before the tabernacle because they believe they are in the presence of Jesus in a unique and special way. And now you know what a tabernacle is. Whenever we go past a Catholic church, the tabernacle is there, which means Jesus is present. And so Catholics usually make the sign of the cross as they are passing by the chapel or the church. And now you know. So thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye now.